Oh, hey, Carmine. Also, were you aware, Mr. Carmine, when Bobby Charles handed over his personal information on his phone, that he was required to have a search warrant for it to be lawful, no matter what? Even if you say you can look at my phone, for it to be lawful evidence, it needs to have a search warrant, not a subpoena. It only had a subpoena. And they've filed that as evidence as well, which means another case for mistrial. Their own writings themselves, they don't understand what the fuck they've written, okay? They have no fucking idea. They have no fucking idea.
You can put the spatula down, okay? Everybody knows you can cook in here. I do want to say, though, I think the bear hat with the face tats, I think you might be cooking too much with that. Because, you know, the last person
When I hold the American flag, what do you see? Do you see somebody that wants to be a part of America?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. When they feel uncomfortable with me holding an American flag, what do you think about them?
God damn, I love America.
I love your
I think they're libtards.
Don't talk to them. Come sit by me, please.
I think they're not proud of the country they live in, and they're the ones that run it right now.
You should stay away from both councils, to be honest, so you're not coaching them.
For my job security, I'm going to stand in the middle. But no, my heart is with you, Soze. No, my heart is with you.
My heart's with you, too.
Hey, Mr. K, looking great, looking sharp.
Looking very American, Soze. Hey, I wonder why Siobhan is late.
I'm not sure.
We have another lawyer that can proceed to help.
Party people, right?
Ah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Not a good look.
Attacked savagely outside of City Hall. These most hallowed
cover
grounds.
that as we start the
Jesus,
trial?
you look like you caught 80 years.
Well, we start
yourself.
with
You
opening
need a
arguments, don't
wheelchair.
we?
Well,
we'll need to
let's
get
see.
there.
This was put up here Friday. How many days? Sounds like you're doing things last minute here, aren't you?
Also,
Well, Your Honor, this court case was scheduled on Saturday, Friday, all right? Witness prep was done with other witnesses. One was unable to be done with sooner just due to scheduling circumstances and how how quickly the schedule was trialed. Wasn't trying to do things last minute, was just trying to work within people's availability, as I'm sure you can have empathy for.
I think we can, whatever you need to cover within your time frame, we can cover as we're setting up the ground rules for this court.
Sure, why don't you take a seat so you don't
I'm trying to be cool about it, but I have to piss.
get like
I'll be right back.
spinal bifida or whatever it is. There's a seat over there, pal.
So I was lost in thought, ruminating, remissing over the lesson that I was just taught.
Ruminant?
I mean, that's a fair question.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You expel methane?
No, I'm not a cow.
Look at you guys. What happened to what happened to the goddamn police of this city? I used to fucking catch strays all the time.
Well, I got ran over too. It was a thing.
Oh,
yeah, it's like a double
wait,
whammy.
actually, no. Vehicles. You're telling me somebody used a vehicle as a weapon and they are dangerous?
Will you jaywalk?
Bones?
No, they're super dangerous.
Hey, here, Judge.
That's crazy.
I'm going over to my
can we go ahead and
side.
proceed with this trial without Shimon or
Mr. K!
Okay, sorry, I'm ready.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'll go piss, girl. I
Recovering.
did.
I've been grievously wounded.
What's going on, big bone?
I know, I overheard they putting talcum powder on your shit.
Yeah, fucking.
Alrighty, we all here.
I'm as here as I will be, sir.
You all go ahead and speak up. We all have everyone you'll need from both sides.
Bobby Charles is right outside, but I believe we have all witnesses present, Your Honor.
You like to witness Mr. Charles in here?
Yeah, let me go get that little son of a bitch. I'll be right back.
let's go into these motions for specifically I want to touch on two things. The motion for the for the psychological evaluation. It has yet to be proved to me so far that we even have a capacity of that in the state. Do we have any process for that? Like we have council members in here. Is there any process or formulaic thing that we can do in order to even have that motion be considered?
What motion?
We received a motion for a psychological evaluation.
So
there is not, but
in the Constitution, I believe there is a 72-hour hold in Carlson's, which is actually the psychiatric ward. So I guess maybe there is.
Closed.
Well,
Why is it in
it's in the Constitution, my friend.
Now, this notice of appearance for Siobhan, because it was under my perspective that she was being called as an expert witness. Can we get some more clarification?
Also, the motion to strike
behind-
witness is all. Motion to strike expert witness is also there.
Yeah, I want clarification behind that. Because being called as a witness and then being called to.
I was being called as a witness, right? Because I didn't personally witness the events, right? It was an expert witness. Still able to fulfill the need of the expert witness in the role of prosecutor at this time. And as for striking myself entirely, like what's the rationale behind that? Expediency, Your Honor. We already have enough witnesses, so I don't want to add extra fucking time. I'm sorry, pardon G languages. Didn't need to add extra time to the trial.
Miss Siobhan.
I apologized.
It's twice. Don't make it a third time.
The report was prepared by her. Her words have been copied verbatim from her articulation in said report and copy and pasted with a sort of.
Hey, Bones, remember how I exported it?
Other prosecutor.
Because you couldn't?
As well as her.
Now we're getting in trouble for that. Isn't that fun? You were having
yourself
issues and now they're bitching at me. Isn't that great?
All right. So you're claiming this, but I see as it is in evidence that the report was prepared by Mr. Barrett Johnson.
That's not.
Is that
true.
correct, prosecution?
Actually, no, Your Honor. So the prepared by indicates the individual who exported the report, Bones, was having issues exporting. So I assisted him due to technical difficulties. Barrick then exported it later.
Interesting.
So this is simply a clerical filing that they are blowing out of proportion.
Were you the only police officer available at the time? Oh, sorry. I would like to ask the judges if Mr. Orbit would be the only police officer available at the time to do such.
Hey, on fire. How you doing?
Well, let's get this straight.
Great, and you?
Siobhan, are you a police officer?
Not too bad.
Currently, yes.
Thanks.
Officers are allowed to prosecute and be witnesses, are they
Thank
not?
you, ma'am.
Your hairs was over at
Eat it all.
Sakeed's place.
Well, that would depend on which oath you're signed to, I believe.
Your Honor, can you please address the defendant to stop addressing me personally?
Oh no,
I've
I
already done that.
said that to the judge.
Wasn't
All
clear.
right. So let me cut it straight with you, Siobhan. Were you involved in this? Were you involved
As a witness?
in
No.
this? Okay.
What about the interaction in the cells that was mentioned?
Oh, like after the fact, I was just there in my official capacity as a.
Don't
What's the
throw
word I'm
around
looking
damn
for?
question. Answer yes or no.
Yes. Sorry. Wait. What did I just answer yes to?
If you were in the
Sorry,
cells.
I'm confused. Yeah, I was in the cells. Sometime after the fact.
All right.
It was the next day. The next day.
May I speak, sir? Ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Overlords, she too was involved at the jail multiple times where she came up with, I believe, Max and Mr. Bones. Bones could likely attest to this since he's a man of law. And he too said that she was helping with the situation while Max had a gun out in the jail.
Fuck this case.
We're decided. While we do find it a little bit, let's just put unusual, a little bit empty-handed to originally be testifying as an expert witness and then, I don't know, change your mind or have a sudden ability to testify, or I'm sorry, to prosecute. However, we have always allowed police officers to prosecute in the state
Boom.
For their own matters. We do not find that it's conflictual in any means, shape, or form. So we're going to be allowing this motion of appearance as well as the motion to strike.
Nice
for
try.
She's going to be operating in prosecutorial ability. She is not to be giving any testimony.
Just
Thank you,
out
Your
of
Honor.
just out
I
of
do have. Sorry.
could I come to the stand for a second, sir?
Your Honor, if they're
you're
gonna.
requesting a side?
Oh, you can
sidebar,
come.
we
You
will
can come
go
as well.
All right, everybody's fine.
Well, I'd prefer if she wasn't here because I believe it's going to be in breach of the Constitution. Maybe you could bring her up and talk to her after. I don't mind if the prosecutor's here, though.
All right, state the Constitution that you're specifically mentioning. State the article.
Which area?
So, well, if she would walk back a little bit, I'll be able to say it. I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to be in breach of the legislation in which that she's okayed.
You called for a side.
They literally, you just called for a sidebar. I'm up.
Yes, and she was never labeled as a
Why
prosecutor.
is Nino here? He's not on the
until-
docket.
Where is he?
Why is that coming up, and why does that matter?
That's
Wait,
not
Nino, why the hell
discussion
are
at
you
hand.
here?
Well, I have paid him, but it doesn't matter if he's here or not. It doesn't bother me.
Go back
Well,
if you need to.
Yeah, he's not.
Yes,
He's not
go
on the
ahead,
docket.
please.
As long as I don't gotta hear the screaming.
I'm
now.
just curious what the
Go ahead,
docket
step back.
means. If it's capable of evidence being changed, 10 minutes before a trial, in something in which I could be held for 7 years.
Okay, like I said, I've said this several times. We have decided to amend the discovery to allow for discovery to end as soon as the trial started. Due to the circumstances around this, we wanted to expedite this trial to make sure that all parties are going to be
Of
present.
course.
We didn't want to dilly-dally with this motion, so that way I allowed for the discovery
makes
to be
sense.
open.
That
That
makes
is not
sense.
something that is usual. That is something that is happening.
You were saying evidence can change after a trial has begun.
If that's what you are inclined to believe and what you're being stuck on right now, then you can believe that. But the process did in fact work. The process is correct.
Okay, sure. I'm just curious if you're saying that evidence can change after a trial has begun as well.
I'm not.
You're okay so if she is listed as a witness, which is a part of the evidence in which we have worked for the last 3 days, you're saying it changing after the trial isn't a part of evidence changing, correct?
It didn't change after the trial. It changed after we deliberated upon it being
in the trial
before the trial was made.
It's okay. Listen,
at this point,
if you don't think we're in trial, then fine. That's okay with me.
At this point, we're getting semantical.
It's not semantics. The gavel has been hit. The trial has begun, and the evidence has changed.
If you actually want to be technical about this and argue each, have I read you your charges? Have I announced the people versus Carl?
You're the one that said the gavel was hit. Let's start the trial, I guess, pal.
So what I'm saying to you is, I asked.
Yes, I know what you're saying, and you're changing your mind based on bullshit, sir. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Don't say shit.
No, you just said they can swear, and I believe that means I can swear. Fuck you.
Prosecution, if you're ready with your opening statement.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. No one can make laws in Sandy Shores and the surrounding areas all the way down to the city border, ellipses, though we do own the North and Paleto as well, quote unquote. These words are not new. Similar words have been uttered countless times in history, whether the entire world or that of our small island. The authority of the state is absolute. Attempts to deny the authority of the state and to incite rebellion against the state are tantamount to treason. And it will be proven here today the use of high-grade weaponry to usurp the authority of the state and its democratically elected representatives took place. It was conceived and executed by Kael Soze. Mens rea and actus reus will be proven beyond a reasonable doubt today that Kael Soze is guilty of all the crimes of which he has been accused. Thank you, Your Honors.
Vance.
Oh, listen, it's fine that I do my opening statement, correct? Or does it have to be the legal side?
If you want to do yours, I don't care. You can do your own damn opening statement.
Thank you. I just damn swear word, or is that okay?
Fine with me.
Half of one.
Hello, everybody. Today, I am a man being prosecuted by the apparent people we have elected in a democracy. I'm sure you all understand what a democracy is meant to be. And I have said myself that I am, as a person, an overseer to democracy. If that is illegal and that is treason, I guess I belong in jail in a democracy in which I oversee, in which we all oversee, because that is what a democracy is. Thank you. Why do you write in third person? What was the answer? I didn't hear.
It is common protocol, and it's how we're trained.
So I'm not questioning if it's an SOP or whatever. Do you know, as the sheriff, do you understand the reasoning for doing third person statements?
Easier for people to read, go through it. In terms of exact legal reasoning, not 100% sure, but it's all I've been doing that, and it's how I was brought up on.
So, being the sheriff, are you well versed in the law, both the penal code, the legislation, and the Constitution?
Yes.
And do you have an oath that you're sworn in as sheriff and as a police officer? Are they the same or different?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
I mean, if a sworn oath is not relevant to a police officer in the court case, I guess it's not relevant. I'm curious as to why I couldn't build.
Your Honors?
Yeah, give me a rebuttal. One rebuttal.
I'm just trying to.
One rebuttal.
Oh, sorry.
The officer's involved oath of office has no bearing on the criminal charges for which Kael Soze is facing today and are utterly and completely irrelevant.
They are when he's the one pressing the charges.
Did I ask for a rebuttal from you?
No.
But I feel like he opened it.
He was asking, do you have separate ones? Yes or no? That's it.
Yes, that's fine with me. All right.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
All
right. The panels is deliberated upon it. We don't test me. We're going to be overruling that at the time. We found not only did the scope open up, but it is just it's a decency question. We've already opened up the scope, not only in his line of question, but the line of questioning before that when we talked about how he became a sheriff, how he got elected, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this is fine.
I, Jeffrey Bones, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, or of the state of San Andreas against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of State of San Andreas. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office which I am about to enter.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm surprised they're not objecting at all.
I'm not gonna object on relevance at all, and I'm just gonna let Soze go on
friend,
as fucking long as he wants, because this is all he wanted apparently. He just
but
wanted to
sure.
grill Bones and make him
And
sound
somebody
stupid.
could be speeding
Here you
illegally
go.
in the city.
Here's what you
Pumped,
want.
correct?
Uriel, stop. Don't object.
Just the puppet master.
We withdraw the objection. Your honors, I would pray that you heard that comment calling me a puppet master.
So what's happening?
Can I just ask questions as well, or not? Or what's going on? I feel like every question is.
I will
objected to and it just
withdraw the
falls off.
objection, Your Honors.
This is
Okay.
light work. This is light work. All right, it's gonna be overruled or whatever.
We withdrew the objection, Your Honor.
We've withdrawn there, son. He can continue answering. Means
Do you believe
we're not gonna object?
A vehicle?
Yes, we heard it
Actually,
first time.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm gonna
believe
let
a
you guys
vehicle
decide you've
parked
had
in the
fucking
middle of a
enough
highway,
since you're not gonna
in
rule the
which
way I want you
vehicles
to.
obviously
If you kept on going east where we were, it would lead you to the on-ramp of Los Santos Freeway.
And where does Los Santos Freeway go?
Then that leads to Sonora Freeway. But there are plenty of spaces where you
Correct.
can pull over and
So,
park the vehicle safely.
Yes, sure. That's very true. Do police vehicles ever have weapons, evidence, drugs, paraphernalia, anything that could hurt or harm somebody inside?
Yes.
So it wouldn't be wise to leave one randomly open on the side of a highway for safety reasons.
Is that a question for me? Or
Yes,
you-
I'm asking. Is it safe
testifying?
to leave? Is it safe to leave an unlocked vehicle with weapons and other dangerous goods in it on a highway unlocked?
No.
So you would think it would be reasonably safe to deliver it to a police station.
Yes.
Interesting. You said you understood that the citizens of Los Santos, in the legislations, that we are able to defend ourselves and the people around us to the extent that we could use a weapon if necessary. Equal force, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting that you totally agree with everything. I'm very confused. So, what is your PC on joyriding?
I think there were many steps that you could have taken.
Just the PC for joyriding is what I'm asking.
You did not have permission to drive and operate that vehicle at all. And there are many steps that you could have gone, but you did not go through.
And who didn't give me permission to drive the vehicle? Who's the owner again?
The owner is Jimmy Avola. He's a police officer. He parked the vehicle in a
That's plenty. That's plenty. And did you ask him for permission to drive his vehicle that day?
As a member of High Command, I am able to operate the vehicles and the shared motor pool for police reasons.
Right. So you're saying that the law doesn't apply to you in this area, the penal code?
Not necessarily. It's a police cruiser. He parked it in the shared parking pool.
Do standard operating procedures override law?
No.
So you are not above the law, is what you're saying, Sheriff?
I'm not saying that I am above the law.
What you're saying?
They don't want to incriminate themselves. They can
Just
plead fifth.
Yes, I know that they
answer correctly.
Why are you giving them the
Stop overthinking.
Left this fucking psycho in the upside down.
What did you say the PC was again? I was going to build on that. But
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
Quite recall.
If he can't recall, that's on him.
Well, it's on you because you don't shut the fuck up, honestly.
What?
It's also
What the?
Stop,
Your
man.
Honor!
Hold on.
I thought we could swear today. I heard the judge say it 3 times.
I'm fine with the swearing.
Listen.
I don't care, but give her a chance.
I also unfortunately
Your Honors,
had
if
a
I-
nice little.
I'll be quiet. Sorry, quiet.
I also had a nice little head
If
pop,
I
but
told
didn't
them
hear
shut the fuck
anything
up, I
else
would be getting
afterwards.
contempt. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
It was asked before. The PC.
This
for
is
the arrest
actually
was asked
bullshit.
already, so that is gonna be-
Do you understand your jurisdictions?
Yes.
Could you explain your jurisdiction?
I can operate in anywhere in the state of San Andreas.
You can operate? You mean enforce law anywhere in the state of San Andreas?
Yep.
And what are the borders to San Andreas?
I'm not exactly sure of the exact borders, but I'd consider most of this island.
So you don't know where the borders are of your jurisdiction?
Exact borders.
Your Honor, can I just can I ask that you instruct the witness to wait 3 seconds for objections rather than answering right away, since we did do that for opposing party during direct?
I thought already. Yeah, I was about to say. I thought
Yeah,
we
I just
did
think
that.
he needs to be readdressed.
Stop jumping the gun there.
I'm confused again. You said you don't know where the lines of your jurisdiction is.
I said I didn't know the exact line, but I'd assume it's the entire island.
So you're making an assumption of the law.
Objection, Your Honor. Misstatement of testimony.
I believe he just said he assumed.
Misstatement of testimony.
What was misstated?
It's doing petty semantic bullshit. I trust that the judges are aware of how to do their jobs.
It's not semantic. It's very well
take
building
my,
the
I'll take
foundations
my
of his
2 cents or
lack of
whatever it is
knowledge
that I
of the
get for
own
that.
law in which he enforces, just like you.
Okay, let's clear it up again, because I thought I had cleared this up already. I'm allowing objection, 1 rebuttal on one side. I'm not asking for all the side talking. I'm not asking for
Yes, Your
Robin to
Honor.
chip in. I'm asking for when you are allowed to give a rebuttal, you are to give a rebuttal. Then you are allowed to give a counter rebuttal, and then we deliberate upon it. I don't want to hear the semantical arguments. I don't want to hear the talking. I want to hear rebuttal, we deliberate. Cool? I'm only saying that once more time.
Yes,
or
Your
I'm gonna
Honor.
start throwing contents. The objection was for misstatement of testimony.
Correct.
Can
We
I get
just
a
asked
rebuttal on the
which
defense
part
side?
was misstated exactly.
Can you give them a clarify?
He said he wasn't sure of the exact ones, and then he made it into an absolute. Being unsure and then forcing things into an absolute and saying that he doesn't know at all versus unsure of the exact borders but could guesstimate are not the same thing. It is a mischaracterization of the testimony that was given.
It is not true. I said you assume where the borders are. So it's an assumption of the law, which means it's exactly what he said. Yes, you're right.
So
Your Honor,
that's
can
going
the
to be the
courts
same.
define the state of San Andreas, please, for the record?
Anything on this damn island, for all I care.
Yes.
Literally anything.
For
anything
all
here.
you care. Or is this like
Yeah, for
based on
anything that I
legislation?
care,
I'm
because
confused.
I'm the one that's ruling on this case.
Well, you're not the
Right,
only one,
right. But you are not the legislation or the Constitution, correct?
That I am
so I'm
not.
confused.
But I am to have an opinion on the law.
Correct. Of course, and
Your
that's
Honor, we're
why we're
asking
trying
for
to build the
fact of an
foundation of the
opinion.
jurisdiction.
Call a map maker. Sustained.
So I can't.
Move on to the next
confused.
question, please.
Wait, so I just can't. Which one is this? I'm just trying to understand which question's being written off here. He doesn't know the boundaries. The assumption
Yes.
there, he doesn't know the boundaries. Could you explain why I would be charged with a Class 2 firearm if I have a license? And it says if I have a license, it is fine.
I believe that the firearm license that you have is only for Class 1 firearms.
You believe? Is that written anywhere? I look at the charge, and it's written the exact same way as Class 1, without a license. You can confirm that if you wish.
Without a proper license, yes.
Okay,
Why does it not say proper? If Class 2 had a proper license?
that's fine. So it says the same thing.
Yeah, it's a little different in the sense that it says proper license, but that's about the only different.
Well, I'd want to hope we have a proper license for our weapons. Otherwise, that would be forgery. Let me have a look. Okay. In the Los Santos Constitution and legislation, is it true that we as the people run the government and city and the local government and city?
I'm not sure.
Do you know what a democracy is?
Yes.
Could you explain your understanding of it?
As a group of people that vote. This is
On
like my basic on
Yes.
different laws, legislation, stuff like that.
Yes. And do you know if we are classed as a democracy?
Yes, we are.
What is an overseer?
Can you give me context of?
Kael Soze is an overseer of Los Santos. Can you explain what an overseer is?
I think it has many different meanings, kind of different based on what is actually happening. Like you can have an overseer on like any job that you have, which is they kind of operate as like a supervisor. My definition of it, or my opinion of it.
So, is there a legal authority of an overseer anywhere in the constitutional legislation that you know in the federal government or in the
sure.
local government?
I'm not sure.
Please,
Why
let's
would
not
you
go back to senators?
Why would you push charges if you're not sure?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Why would you push charges for treason if you're not sure what an overseer is?
I got clarification from a prosecutor. I brought them up and they were like, yeah, you have PC for this. So I clarified with the legal experts.
Well, yeah, whatever PC you had for treason. Whereabouts was this? Sorry.
You can read my
You can't
statement.
put.
I also explained to him basically what happened there.
Of probable cause. Maybe. I'm not sure.
He saw the evidence that is in the report as well with the writing on there.
Right, I'm just trying to ask which part of this is the PC to imply
Your Honor,
treason.
Mr.
That is the
Honor,
charges in which you're applying.
Statement of evidence. Mr. Whitlock is not referenced in this report at all.
I mean, I was brought on as in an advisory role before regarding the PC. That PC was articulated then later by Ms. Siobhan Thoroughbred.
Oh, the one that is no longer a witness to the evidence in the trial. The entire base of PC is no longer here. Is that what you're saying to me, sir? Right, but you need PC to file charges, and where is the PC?
All right, breaking off from this. Listen, we already came into this court with an understanding of how the PC was established and verified by Miss Gatsby over there. So hi, Gatsby. Gatsby, we've already made this PC known to the court. I don't think we need to argue about the semantics of it anymore.
You have never made the PC initially known to me at any point in time. I do not know the PC in which I was placed under arrest for treason.
That can be up to question, however.
No, there was no
document
documents served based on the Constitution. You are meant to serve any documents that is applied to both parties in your own writings in a fair manner, which says specifically any documents that are pushed towards the docket that show PC or anything like that, any request needs to be shared with both parties. I never got the PC request. I don't know my reasoning for being locked and detained in treason.
And he has pointed out multiple different things. So far within this case, this foundation does not lack any supportive evidence of how we charge things. And he is bringing up the basis, which someone rarely does, by the way, rarely, of why these things are charged the way that they are. If we are just to sit here and say that they are charged based upon someone telling us how we do it, then are we questioning why the reasons that we are here instead just replace us with a damn AI that says yes or no?
To be frank, I don't understand your argument. I have heard this out very fairly. I'm writing down all of these notes. Oh, I am hearing his point.
What I'm telling you is that we're actually taking the question out, which he is trying to establish that there is a foundational crack at some point, which he is doing.
But how does that relate to the charges that we're
exactly?
Because are they appropriate to push them? It is the same thing, the exact same one argument, and how he started with the class 1 and class 2. Now, I don't know if y'all have or have not been around and how the old city used to have everything with literally define what was a class 1, what was a class 2. Because
and your argument that everything would have been defined.
And so he
and I have noted
that.
Yes.
Yeah, that is something
that is in my notes.
But my issue is that we're adapting to the systems that were put in place by the council, right, by the government.
Of course.
We are not to question that. That's not what's supposed to be questioned here. We're supposed to be questioning the criminal charges.
Look at the actual legislation here in the Constitution.
I
the
have
first
been,
thing,
yes.
Article 1, 2 bodies possess initial legislative authority in Los Santos. The sitting city council rules, and there's an and, not a not an or. And the justices of Los Santos are the gateway to implementation of legislation. There's an and in that. So if there is something here that needs to be fixed, then damn well I want to hear it.
It is of my opinion that we do that, but not in a criminal trial. I don't think we need to do that in a criminal trial. I think we need to do that when we're not when we're not looking at criminal charges right now.
If there are questions on whether or not there is validity in any of this, sure, we could utilize that in our judgment. But the actual details of whether or not there is a problem and how to fix it can be addressed later.
I think right now, what we have to look at right now is how they are as they are at, and then
I 100% agree.
We can question
yes,
that.
yes,
Yeah, that's my whole point.
I don't disagree with it. But how are you going to not know what the hell is there if you don't listen to it at this point? You could say, and we have to judge it based upon the information that we have. That's exactly how everything does happen.
I already know that there's an issue. Because when Uriel posted this damn docket, he posted it without any charges or without any PC. He posted it without any evidence.
And I was in agreement of him being removed from prison due to that. We both were. There are issues, and we are handling them. However, allowing him to get away with this behavior time and time again is just doing a disservice to this entire courtroom. No one else is allowed to get away with this. Why are we doing it now? We can
Why the hell are we hearing it?
We have heard it.
No, I'm saying, why is this
many times.
literally not a damn mistrial then?
That I can take credit for. I didn't want this to be a mistrial because I want it to be heard. That's why I gave the writ. That's why I explained in the motion that I made that we should hear this out, that this matter should be heard, because I want to hear some form of responsibility behind the charges that are being pushed and the probable cause attached with it. You know, Gatsby already approved the HUT charge. You know,
Yes.
she had already verified at one point that these charges were good to go, right? So I wanted to hear that because I didn't want to step over any sort of construction.
We went
that was already
around
pressed before
the
I even got my
processes
hands
that
on
we
the case.
have set forth in place because you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That's it. Respectfully, remove me from this panel then.
Can I ask for why exactly? Like,
Because if we don't want to go through the processes that we have set forth based upon the shit that we have here within this city, within this legislation, then why the hell are we doing it just because you want to do it?
All right, Bailey. So mistrial and then what? Not saying that I agree with his decision, but we're here now. If we do a mistrial right here, right now, then what happens? What do we suddenly fix all of this? Go through and change everything just so that he isn't guilty? What then? What's your plan here?
Well, frankly, that's if you want to keep this going, go ahead, do for it.
That's what I wanted to keep this going
We're
because I want
discussing
this
it,
matter to
Bailey.
be heard. I entertained the thought of a mistrial when I initially heard this, and I had heard that the charges. I had thought we should mistrial this. We should get another docket posting going up if they wanted to push the charges again. I wanted to dismiss this without prejudice. However, I thought that the idea would be a good option for every party available because we wanted this matter to be heard as soon as possible. That was what my opinion was. I wanted this matter to be heard as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, without any semantical issue. Now, could I have just outright denied it? Could this been a mistrial? Yeah, it is my opinion. And I
If you
hope that we
just
were on
said
the
that
same
it could
page
have
about.
been,
Yes.
and you said yes, that's all I need to damn hear.
But do we not answer when we go and deliberate? Do we not look at all the evidence and determine whether or not it would be a mistrial in the first place?
Yes, but we have a process that we follow.
This is the process that I'm following,
Your own.
not my own.
No, you just
What I've
said
been-
it.
what
You
I've
wanted to
conferred-
hear it, and it could
To
have
be clear
been.
here, I was not a part of the mistrial decision and whether or not to go forward with it. But is it not our decision as judges? If you wanted to weigh in, you could have.
What I'm saying, frankly, right here, I was asked to do this morning. I had zero context behind anything whatsoever with this.
The discussions have been had. You were welcome to join
Yes,
at any time if you had a
and-
concern with it.
Correct, and I am right now.
Well,
It's
we're
exactly
already
me bringing this up
2 hours into court.
because of the answers that he just provided in front of me.
Yeah, that is
So,
my
okay.
opinion. If you feel like you need to step away, that is totally fine. I understand. That is my, and I would like to reach a decision unilaterally among the three of us, so that we can get a basis on if we're still hearing this motion or not, if we're still hearing this trial or not. So if we do mistrial this, then I would like to restate the grounds of the mistrial, being that when the charges were pressed as per the legislation, that they needed to be available, that the PC and the verification needed to be available upon charges being pressed.
You are acting on behalf of our judicial system on your own. You said
Yes.
that you wanted this to happen, and that process was not followed appropriately.
And I've deliberated upon that, and I made a ruling upon that.
As is our right to do with opposition, as far as I'm understanding it. Just
Because
because a
bandit, as
mistrial
we
can happen
see,
doesn't mean it
nigga.
has to.
I was proposed a mistrial. I received a motion for a mistrial, and I took care of the motions. That's what I found upon my deliberations of the motion.
Here's what I'm going to say. If you want to have this as your trial, then this is your decision. It is no longer my decision. I will be here in capacity to do so. But if you want this as your damn trial, your decision, how you did it with your own things, because frankly, I don't agree with them, then you need to step up and be that person that is. Do you still want this to go ahead? Go ahead. But I'm not putting any further input into this then.
Okay, I do understand that. And I really, really like the whole point of why I wanted you on this panel, or I wanted anybody on this panel, was to get further opinion. Because I think this is a very, extreme case. I thought it was good to have more than one set of eyes on this. But if that's your opinion, and like I said, I've already deliberated on the motions. That part is done. If you do not agree with that motion, if you do not agree with my opinion, then it is up to you to step away, I guess. Like, I have already made a decision on my end, and that is what I see.
All right, then I'll be stepping away from this. Enjoy the rest of the trial. I'll sit in the back.
Okay. Thank you for your input.
You take care. I'd like to make it clear here, everybody else here, I will be stepping away actively from this trial and joining you in the audience. They are going to proceed as needed and as necessary. Alrighty.
Hey, sir.
You want to step down the end for me?
You think it's gonna be safe up here?
No, it's more for the aspect of people just walking in.
Oh.
Usually when it's down here, it's a private conversation. If I did have keys to this place again, I'd take you back into the law room, but I don't have keys to do that. So, there's the unfortunate part. Anyway, frankly, first off, if you haven't been told already, you should absolutely appeal this for mistrial. I don't understand why they didn't do it after I had left.
The fact that there was a possibility that a mistrial could have been filed, and it is enforced by the Constitution that the judges or lawyers should call for it. I'm just confused as to why nothing was at least said to why they wouldn't have done that, because I brought it up, our lawyer brought it up, and, well, here we are.
Oh, son. That's actually the reason I walked out.
I'm curious by what you mean by that.
So, while we're having this conversation, it was along the questioning the lines of you going around asking about the whole badge thing and being visible.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to shut it down.
Oh, where I was trying to show police could have a bias in a case that was against me. Yes,
So,
I get it.
Here's why I said it. Then I'll give you this context. And people have already asked if I would give this in a public forum, and I said yes, I will. But I don't mind speaking about this with you now. When that came up, I said to them, "Why are you shutting this down?" They said expediency, basically. I said, "You understand there's a man here that's on trial for treason, which is the biggest capital offense that you can have here. Why are you shutting that down?" He started his scope very broadly many times, and his way of questioning, which is different than others. He's starting a funnel that is larger and getting down to the questions that you want answered very specifically. You start broad, you finish small. Now,
interjections. They were thrown out because they were bored.
Here's that part, right? When I said to them, he's getting at selective enforcement here, and I'm guessing that's what you're going at.
Oh, definitely.
Within the first question. Correct. I said, "Why are you shutting that down?" So they started asking a little bit more about the selective enforcement side. And I said, "Who are we at this point? Why isn't this, or how isn't it being mistrial?" The judge, Jackson, said to me, "It could have been, but I just wanted to take it and make it happen."
He admitted to failing in the... Has he read the Constitution?
Oh, I clearly not. I mean, here's why I said this. I said, we have ways that we are outlined. We have ways that my job is outlined to be in a way we follow a process, a procedure. And you didn't do that. You didn't follow any of that. But because you wanted to just take it to take it, I can't sit here in good faith and be a part of this.
I mean, I called the prosecutor and informed of possible mistrial stuff as well. And I mean, if the judge has already said that it could have been mistrialed, I feel like they might have been talking with each other or something. I think, I don't know. There's a lot of assumptions, but I feel like there is a group of people that want to blow back at anybody that is here to question the law, when the reality is a democracy is all about questioning law and making sure the people go the right way. Did he say why he thought it would be a mistrial specifically, or hint at?
It was more procedurally based, is my understanding, not definitively. But I once again said there are processes that needed to be followed that were not. And part of my questioning towards you in the beginning there of how long you were held for and those things as such, and believe me, I was asked to take this morning. I have no context behind anything. All right?
Oh.
None. I literally none.
Yes, like I said, I believe there was the other ones too, where, I mean, I don't know your viewpoint on the whole search warrant versus subpoena thing, but they also didn't have the search warrant for the phone records, which was also used in multiple conversation and kept as evidence for Bobby. He didn't admit anything on the stand, so it would have been all hearsay otherwise. I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, buddy, I appreciate. Listen. I don't know. I thought you would just you had to go. That's how fucking. I didn't know what was happening, but I do appreciate that you have integrity, sir. That is something that very few people have.
It wasn't that I had to go. I actually said to him, "If you said that you wanted a mistrial, I, in good faith, cannot stand here and do this."
Mm-hmm. That's the Constitution.
And I left. That is why I left.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate it, and that's also why I was happy to go to jail. At the end of the day, somebody has to break. Somebody has to speak, and sometimes actions speak louder than words. And here we are. The actions can begin.
Oh, Lord. I don't need sanguine version 2 over
No.
here, son.
No, I ain't shooting nobody. Well, unless I need to defend
you did
myself.
just say that you would, by the way, at the end of that.
Oh, yeah. I was saying that I am a terrorist. I just had to make sure that they were correct in their findings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to feel any more dumber than they are.
Regardless of what happens here, I do believe that you should appeal this. I can't sit on it. I don't know who the hell could. Because, frankly, you made points.
I'm curious. There's this thing, right, where if I do a mistrial, or it just doesn't exist anymore. But if I was to subpoena for the results of the trial and then file for a mistrial after, and it was mistrialed, would the results and their finding as a judge still be the word of apparent law?
You mean as common law?
Well, I mean, I don't know how it works. So it says, from my understanding, that if they judge on something, that can be used as common law, right? But if it is mistrialed later, is it then abolished?
Well, here's the other part to this. And actually, I just got done having a conversation with Mr. Robin and Mr. Nino over there, is that we have case laws, right? But you as a lay citizen, per se, just based upon where we're at, cannot actually see them. Nobody can. So technically, they should be invalid at this point. Because who's to say that they're going to go down every damn trial and know what the hell happened? Nobody. Nobody's going to go ahead and know that. But they have no idea.
I was gonna try to subpoena for the results of the terrorist judge, because obviously that's also a indicator of how things can be applied versus the state. So then I got told it would take 5 days or something to get some shit like that, and I was like, well, just put a fucking gun in my mouth. I don't care then.
Well, son, it isn't that. Please, it isn't that bad at all. No guns in mouths, all right? Yes, yeah, I understand that.
I don't actually want my brain to go on vacation. I much do like it inside my head.
And should that be said, then no. Because technically those laws are meant to always be changed. Everything's set in stone. Those laws can be appealed. Those can be changed, and everything should be fluid. Just as such as your weapons license aspect. Frankly, that's sitting there. This says there's nothing that defines what weapons you can and cannot.
Mm-hmm. Unless you assume it as a judge. Sure. Then you get charged for it.
Yes, of course. But that's the opportunity that I said to them is, look at what's happening. He is making you question as to why. Do you not see that?
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't. So, anyway.
That's what this entire message was about, my friend. And it appears only about 3 or 4 people understood it, at least on the legal side of things. A few police officers also came to me and talked and understood the viewpoint. So there's still humans out there, at least. Everything about this was for the state and for education and for law. It was not to go against the state. It was to enforce and encourage better laws and better understanding of the laws for the people. The people that the council are meant to protect.
Oh, understood. Believe me. That point was not lost on me.
No.
Listen.
Well, I do appreciate it a lot, sir.
You're welcome.
Really do.
Mm-hmm. Well, get yourself together, get your stuff appealed, and maybe have it heard again. I don't know if you want to do that or not. That's your own damn option. But frankly, I'm telling you as myself, there's no judge at this point. It's been around for a very long time, my friend. You'd be better off to do it. Because you'll start to see the process and the systems that they start to think about themselves going through this. And if the fundamental thinking is incorrect, then that needs to change.
That's right. If you have a million different people that can't define what Los Santos is, or a jurisdiction and where its boundaries are, the entire law is vague. It's an objection of itself. Okay, you're never going to get the answers or a correct law. It's the fundamentals.
But if it was left vague for a reason, it should be able to be argued and not just assumed.
Exactly. Yes, I agree.
I won't take too much more of your time if you have individuals waiting for you or not, but figured I need to have that conversation with you.
What was your name?
Bailey. John Bailey.
As stated in the People's A, did you respond to a call for backup in Sandy Shores?
Yeah.
Who made that request for backup?
The sheriff.
Do you recall at what time this was in EST?
Not really. I think it was like probably later in the shift. It wasn't right in the beginning when I got on duty. It was a little bit later. I don't really remember exactly.
What was occurring on scene when you arrived?
Bones was standing like, so there's a couple of steps that go into the doors, and Bones was standing like next to the steps, kind of on the, what I would call like the street side, right? And he was facing the doors.
Would you characterize the suspect's behavior as compliant?
I mean, when I got there, I hadn't heard anything yet, so I didn't know what was going on, but as time went on, no, he was not compliant.
Sheriff Bones stated that Kael Soze opened fire on officers. Did you personally witness him shoot his Class 2 at officers that were present?
Yeah, he shot at me multiple times, including other officers behind me and to my left.
Do you know which officers were present for the record?
I had a cadet with me, Thixon. There was Loki, who ended up getting shot down. Bones was there. I know there were at least one or two other officers there, but I can't remember exactly.
And so, still referencing the People's A, did you take the selfie titled "Selfie with Insane Ramblings"?
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Did you hear Kael Soze state this rhetoric himself at any point?
No, he was. It was mostly Bones talking. That dude just like didn't listen.
Is your jurisdiction within the entire state?
Yeah.
Now, who is the ultimate authority on jurisdictional grandstanding within departments?
Bro, I don't know what any of that shit means.
Yeah, he pretty much said what I
Okay,
said.
first off, Declan, stop shitting. Stop saying shit.
Sorry, I don't know what any of that stuff means,
Stop
dog.
fucking saying shit, bitch. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
What was the objection? That was
opinion of a layperson, but his answer said it as well.
Yeah. That's gonna be sustained. Please.
All right. Yes.
This guy is 19 years old, man.
Is the commissioner an agent of the state?
Yeah, he's the one I went to talk to about getting my my Gargura livery for the JDM PD car.
Did you personally witness Kael Soze taking acts denying Sheriff Bones' authority or that of the state?
Taking axe.
Rebuttal.
Wait, he didn't. No, he had a gun, not an axe. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Rebuttal. Prosecution.
Oh, what was the objection again? I'm sorry.
Calls for conclusion.
Bitch, man, these chats fucking suck.
Wait, someone talk to me?
Rebuttal. Sorry, you asked for rebuttal, Your Honor. We are not calling for a conclusion. We are simply asking his opinion on the events that he witnessed.
Wait, Your Honor, can I ask a question?
Yeah, what's up?
That lawyer dude just said he was gonna fuck
taking a
himself.
break.
Can he not do that?
No, I'm taking a break.
I don't want to watch that.
That will not happen here.
Nobody wants to watch that, Your Honors. Apologies.
All right, rebuttal defense.
I'll rein him in.
Wait, what?
That was gonna be.
I
sustained.
don't want him to masturbate.
He is not going to fuck himself.
Okay.
Thank you for
He
clarifying.
is getting closer,
Declan.
but it's just only to ask you a question.
Of
Oh,
course.
all right.
We'll hand down contempt if anyone does that for
Don't
some
think
reason.
that's why he's
Don't worry.
hunching over.
All right, what's up? What's up, dude?
In your opinion, did you personally witness Kael Soze taking acts denying Sheriff Bones' authority or that of the state?
No, he had a gun, not an axe.
All right, Declan. Declan is being Declan. No further questions to the witness this time, Your Honor.
I think he's being Declan because he doesn't know no better.
Yeah, he's just Declaning out. You know, he's just really thinking about his like Oshi or something.
You're doing great, Declan.
Well, no, he said he had an axe, and he doesn't. He had a weapon.
Okay.
He had a
All right,
gun.
defense.
I'll go. Oh yeah. Hey, pal, how you doing?
Hey, nice cosplay, dude.
Thank you. Did you happen to hear?
You're the Trump guy, right? Nice.
Sure. Did you happen to hear anything that Bones was saying? You said when you ran in and started shooting, did you hear
Oh
what he
yeah,
was saying?
Bones was like, "Put the gun down," and he said it like 4 other times, different ways, and then you were like, "No," and then he was like, "All right," and then he tackled you and said, "Don't resist," and then you resisted.
Right, but then that would be before you came into the building, correct?
Yeah, we went into the building because you ran away after he said, "Don't resist," and then you resisted.
Yes, and what did he say while I was running away? Do you recall?
He said, "If you don't put the weapon away, you're gonna get shot." That's like we have to tell people that because we're trained to like articulate everything so they know what's gonna happen if they do illegal stuff.
Okay, and you said he put away the weapon or you're going to be shot. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Stop running or you'll be shot. What did you? It was put away the weapon or you're going to
It was
be
like
shot.
something like that. I mean, we kind of just like intermingle a lot of things, right? Because it's kind of all the same gist. It's like you could say put it down, you could say put it away, you could say lower, you could say a lot of stuff, but it's basically just like, you know, stop brandishing the firearm, or you know, you're gonna get taken as like a lethal threat and we're gonna shoot you. Oh, so when we got recruited, basically like they just told us like you patrol everywhere that like, you know, the state.
Oh, okay. They would be your training officers, correct?
Yeah.
So would the sheriff, for instance, be able to train people and teach them things?
I'm objecting on scope.
We just talked about training, like the question just before, and he said it happened in training. So I'm asking if the person that just, you know, was questioned and is the sheriff, you know, would do that.
Then I'm gonna object that it is the improper person, or not opinion of a lay person, but improper witness. Yeah. Objection on proper witness. We had Bones on the stand. He had no opportunity to ask him that question. He denied. Those would be the best answer questions regarding the sheriff.
Okay, that's fine.
Yo, can everyone
but
talk
this-
slower? This is really hard.
You have been through training, correct?
Yeah, I got
All right,
trained.
hold on, but that okay. So we're sustaining on that.
Yeah, I'm
listing
fine to
this.
just
Yeah.
change the questions.
But I didn't get trained by
That's all
Bones
right.
though.
Thank you, Soze.
Right. And typically, who are the people that do the training? Who is qualified to do that sort of thing?
FTOs.
And is that like a rank, or is it just a label? Like, what's how is that? You know,
Oh, they call it a
defined
cert.
or,
It's like what old people eat for candy.
Oh.
No, certs. Duh.
And generally, anybody that would be in a commanding rank would have this.
I don't think you have to be. Because, like, you know, there's some dudes that are just like cargo fast type guys, and they might be command just
you
because they're
mean
like really
like,
good in the field, right? But they don't, I don't know.
Right. And just to confirm, those are the FTOs, are the ones that train you and told you your jurisdiction.
Well, some of them, but Academy also, like, some of the, like, the brass step in, you know, like the chief and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But Lenny and I
okay,
also learned from
and-
watching Red Room films on the dark web. So my training is kind of everywhere, you know.
Is this pornography?
No,
I
it's
don't-
where they
I don't
like rip
understand.
someone's toenails off with pliers. We
Okay.
report it to the FIB. It's for like investigation purposes, you know.
The FIB, okay. And who's the FIB?
Oh, we just send it to fib.gov and hope that it gets through. Just I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. We're kind of just covering our backs. I kind of just like watching.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, if you're into that, you're into that. That's fine. If you like pain
Yeah,
and
it's
agony,
cool,
so
yeah.
be it. All right, and well, I mean, listen, I don't know how to stray from that question, but that's very strange of you. So, did you say you're 19?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sure. Listen, I'll just see if the other guy has any questions, but you know, it will do, son.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Other guy, you have any questions?
I
I
did.
think Declan's done enough up there for us.
Anything on redirect?
1 sec. I'll ask him about the red room question. I just got one question for you.
Yeah. All right.
How many of these red room videos have you watched?
I only started watching them when Lenny told me about them. But I would say we probably watched like one after each night. We got kicked out of the maid cafes in Nippon, and we got kicked out of like 60. So I probably watched like 60 or 70 in Nippon. And then we watched some here in the States, but we were too busy like shooting criminals here, so we didn't really need to watch them because it wasn't as entertaining, because we just watched like the blood in real life, right?
Right.
So maybe like 20 here or so.
This is disturbing. Even
All
for
right.
me.
Well, yeah, that's no more questions for us,
All
Your Honor.
right,
Thank you so much,
understood.
Declan.
Thank you.
We should
for
get on that state order.
Yeah, right.
getting us-
Psychological
yes,
evaluations.
we should absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Please leave. Please
Declan,
leave.
that-
Wait, me?
Please
Yeah,
leave.
that's it.
Declan.
Please.
Oh, all right, cool. Thanks, bros.
Please leave
So-
us.
All right.
Go get Carmine.
Prosecution calls Bobby Charles to the stand.
Hey,
I don't know
Bobby,
where
before
Carmine
you
is,
start
just-
talking, how many times did you talk when I told you not to talk?
Not once,
A
and
lot
you
of
can't
times.
prove it, Your Honor.
Okay.
Because it was like
There's a camera in here. There's a camera right there.
There is.
Okay?
But I also don't want to hear your voice more than I have to.
That
so
is true.
I won't
I don't
watch
want to analyze that. You know what? You get
No,
the pass. You
I
get the
don't care.
pass.
That's fine.
All right. Just to remind you, Mr. Charles, Mr. Bobby Charles, you are under oath.
Bobby, did your bitch ass speak with Kael Soze on the day of June 5th?
Your Honor, I will not be referred to as a bitch ass.
Under motion to refer to him only as a bitch ass.
I would like to make that motion. Yes, I second Gatsby's motion to refer
Any
him
objection
only as
from the
bitch ass.
defense?
I'm not gonna fucking testify at this goddamn court case if you're gonna call me a bitch.
The court today has 4 questions before it. Does conspiring with at least one other individual to commit armed rebellion against the jurisdictional authority of the sheriff's office rise to the level of denying the authority of the state? 2. If so, do the actions taken by Kael Soze with Bobby Charles and Sheriff Bones rise to the level of incitement, even if unsuccessful at rallying more to his cause? 3. Does one need to merely engage in rebellion on one's own to be guilty of treason, or does a mere act of incitement meet the level? And 4. When is the line of civil disobedience crossed to treason? We have testimony that Kael Soze did engage in rebellion against the state. We have no testimony to the contrary. We have evidence that he posted to encourage others to question the state's authority. We have evidence, messages with Bobby Charles where Mr. Soze had attempted to incite Mr. Charles to rebellion. We have heard testimony that Kael Soze used high-grade weaponry to defend his rebellion against the authority of the state. We have evidence that he did so in the People's A. We have his testimony to Sheriff Bones under Miranda in the People's A confirming he wrote the manifesto denying state authority outside of the place where he made a stand against officers of the state with a Class 2 automatic weapon. We have probable cause for detainment articulated, where the further escalating actions taken by the defendant began occurring prior to contact from Jeffrey Bones. Soze never had any intent to comply. He never had any intent to recognize the authority of the state. I'm honestly surprised he even showed up to court, since the Constitution doesn't give judges the power to really do anything in his eyes for events taking place outside of city limits. I don't deny the authority of this court to decide events outside of city limits. Otherwise, this court would be forced to vacate every judgment made in the last 6 months where events take place outside of city limits, including but not limited to several drug trafficking cases. This task is reprehensible in the scope of its idiocy. The ability of implied powers cannot be denied with the Constitution, nor their impact on the framework of government. Laws exist to bind everyone under the geographical area. No one isn't bound, else the laws would mean dick. Sorry, I'll take the contempt. Between these alternatives, there is no middle ground. Certainly, all those who have framed written constitutions contemplate them as forming the fundamental and paramount law of the nation. As Hamilton stated in the Federalist Papers, amongst the most formidable of the obstacles with which the new constitution will have to encounter may readily be distinguished the obvious interest of a certain class of men in every state to resist all changes which may hazard a diminution of power, emolument, and consequence of the offices they hold or held under the state establishments, and the perverted ambition of another class of men who will either hope to aggrandize themselves by the confusions of their countrymen or flatter themselves with fairer prospects of elevation from the subdivision of the empire into several partial confederacies than from its union under one government. That man is standing before us today, Kael Soze. Kael Soze left Officer Bones stranded, took his car without permission, twatted for Bobby Charles a call, posted a manifesto on the sheriff's office walls like Martin Luther with his 95 Theses, spoke with Bobby Charles. Bobby was immediately, as evinced by the text and evidence, incited to rebellion at the location where Kael Soze was. Words declaring his acts as in defiance of the state were uttered by Kael Soze and followed up on with Class 2 gun violence against officers in the capacity as law enforcement. The charge of treason does not specify more than one individual taking part as required, nor inherent to the charge. Common sense should be applied when considering jurisprudence renders common law. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the court, on your honors.
My turn.
All right. Yep.
Okay. Firstly, great closing statement, but for somebody that is an expert witness, I believe you should not lie inside the closing statement. We have a prosecutor came to jail with somebody that had a weapon out, Mr. Max Thoroughbred, a convicted ex-terrorist in the state of San Andreas, which is impeachable. It doesn't say that the statute of limitations applies to that. It is only implied to the charges that would have happened before it. There is no necessary charge to the impeachment. Impeachment can happen at any time. This lady, who is on the council, non-biased, by the way, for the people, did not question me at any point in time to get my side of what had happened, ever, for the people. She also said that the car that was Bones's car was also stated inside by Bones it was not his car. Nobody confirmed that I did not have permission to drive the car. It is also implied that I did it for my safety, which is very logical, and it's also in the Constitution. So, me being pinned for joyriding is stupidity, to say the least, based on their own constitutional laws, by the way. There, at no point in time when I asked for PC was the point of the PC created. They said there was PC, okay? And they can explain certain things, but they never explained which portion of it was the PC. There was nothing said that was PC. It doesn't make any sense. The semantics was argued today, and for somebody that is meant to understand the law and be for the people, I don't think an argument should be based on vagueness and semantics. It should be a well-known, well-written law law that we all understand as a people. That is the goal of a democracy and a people of a democracy. If I am to be judged because I write on a wall that I am an overseer, somebody that overlooks a democracy as a person, as a people in a democracy, and that is the reason that I am held on treason charges, I don't even know where to start, okay? I just don't know where to start. There was also no fundamental PC based on those charges. Like I said, I was too not questioned. We had Bobby Charles over here, stricken or whatever the fuck happened from any evidence, but yet she was here using his word against me as hearsay, implying that this was factual evidence. And if that's the best you got, no offense, Bobby, you're a great guy, but I don't think many people are going to believe that, even if he was on the stand.
I can't believe
Bobby's praise. Classic Bobby's praise.
I think disagreeing with a police officer who is localized by the state authority doesn't mean they are the same as the state authority. If you were giving authority by the state, you are not the state authority. It's different. The state authority is the state. Under that is the localized government. They would be empowered by the state, not the authority of the state. And that is also the argument this lady had said. That is just not what it is. It says in the Constitution itself that the power comes from the state. It doesn't make you equal to the state. And nonetheless, me arguing with a police officer is not arguing with the state. It is another entity under the local government itself. There is multiple entities that chain down here. We're getting to a point that if I was arguing to a building, that apparently I'm arguing to the state. It doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. It's stupid. The entire time, I only ever questioned what I was being detained for, and Bones himself could not justify the PC for the joyriding there. He couldn't do it here in the courtroom, and it escalated to a thing where I didn't feel safe. This man said to me, I am going to tackle you and put you in handcuffs, when he couldn't explain the PC to me, okay? That's fine. I get it. He's probably stupid. But when you assault somebody by tackling them, and you don't have the right attire on as a police officer, I actually started to question if he even was a police officer, in all honesty. He doesn't know what PC is. He doesn't know what his jurisdiction is. He doesn't know anything. He literally is not a police officer. Not that it's relevant. I did shoot police officers. I saw other police officers there, okay? And I will happily shoot anybody if I am fighting for my rights as a human in a democracy, okay? There's been civil wars that needed to happen. I'm not saying there needs to be one, but I will do what's right by the laws and the Constitution. That's what I will do, always. Jail will not affect me. It will send the message that you are inconsistent and you don't understand your own laws, and that's fine. You can say what you want to the people. The reality is, we wouldn't be in this situation if Bones did his job correctly. It's that simple. If he understood the law and he understood what joyriding was and my right to self-defense and protect the people around me, we would not be here today. A violation of my rights. We've mentioned them. I don't need to go over them. The fact that if there is one, that is enough for anybody to request a mistrial. I have informed the prosecutors of this. The judges know, and we are the only ones that have mentioned it. It says by law that if anybody's rights are violated, it doesn't say how, for how long, or how it's done, that you should press for a mistrial. And here we have a council member for the people that will not enforce their own laws unless it's for their own biased police department. Not to mention the council person themselves swore an oath that said they would not join any other agencies. And here today, they are a prosecutor, a lawyer. Here today, they are also a police officer. There is multiple agencies in which she has sworn an oath to that she would not be a part of. She has failed in her own duties, and we are here to believe that she should have the right to write over laws and imply that I am in the wrong. She doesn't understand her own oath. I'm going to close this up. There was no PC. Nothing was explained. This was a fucking sham and an absolute avoidable disaster. I am not against the state. I am for the state. And that's all I have to say.
At this time, we have taken a look at how weapons licenses are handled, and there are situations in which a weapons license may refer to only a certain set of weapons. I do not believe that that gives you justification to carry a Class 2 firearm, as well as the significant amount of ammunition that you had on you. So at this time, you will be found guilty of that charge. Next up is resisting arrest, which we will also find you guilty of. Testimony in this court today is that you attempted to resist arrest, broke out of cuffs. For a third charge, joyriding. At this time, we will be finding you guilty.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you are no longer a state trooper, and you are not permitted to drive an officer's vehicle.
I'm definitely a terrorist. You have confirmed for me. Thank you.
For the 3 times attempted murder of a government employee, due to the testimony today from yourself and others, you will be found guilty as well. Now, for treason. Treason is whoever engages in and or incites others to participate in rebellion or insurrection against the authority of the state of San Andreas. The authority of the state of San Andreas shall be considered for the purposes of this statute to include the Senate and or the laws of the state. This shall include anyone who attempts to secede from the state by way of sovereign land, claims, or annexation. At this time, we looked at the evidence as a whole. We looked at the notes left on the sheriff's office, which did make claims of land and annexation. However, that in itself does not lead to treason, in my mind. I believe there could just be ramblings, could just be, a failed attempt to, cause some issues. However, when those words are met with actions, that is where we find an issue. For you went prepared that day with a Class 2 firearm and 2,200 something bullets, and 3 loaded magazines as well, to storm into that sheriff's office and aim a gun at the sheriff before they attempted to fire upon you. Due to the fact that your words were then followed up by actions, you are being found guilty.
Oh! Shit! Thank you so much.
Oh, fuck!
Thank you so much, ma'am. I am very proud to be a part of this beautiful country that for some reason knew we would be talking about the state before we were here. If you didn't notice, there was a judge, everybody, that was talking about the state when no one had referenced it at all. Before this had even happened. There is bias.
Yeah,
these people are not for the
Judge
people.
Jackson is biased.
And they have also left halfway through a court trial, my friends.
Yeah!
Just remember.
At this time, we will be sentencing you to 3 years in prison with 3 years of parole and a $100,000 fine.
What the?
That is the sentence of this court.
Thank you.
Soze, appeal your charges, my recommendations.
No, I am not going to appeal charges to something that was a mistrial. You know that should have been a mistrial.
Appeal it, Soze.
My rights
Appeal
were
it.
violated. My mistrial should have happened. It did not happen.
Soze, just appeal it.
I will not appeal it. I will stay in jail forever. And I will be a terrorist for the morals of society.
Jesus
Christ. Fuck Young Dabin. Fuck you.
Why hurt people?
You can join my
I'm not hurting
people.
people. I'm hurting the enemy of the state.
Go through the right
Not the people.
Go through
That
the
guy's
right
a San Andreas hero.